This is Haley and Dustin, and we are presenting
Third Eye Sailing.
Third Eye Sailing. Podcast about nothing, but about everything on the water, off the water, until we get on the water. We'll see how it goes. I am a new sailor. I know nothing.
I've been sailing for, I don't know, 5-6 years. Probably actually on a sailboat. Been around boats my whole life. Always wanted to kind of live that dream, on the hook and no obligations and just to be free. So we're at, the very start of our journey here. We just bought a 1984 Catalina 30 for a decent price. Everything's been maintained yearly. Boat's in really good shape. Just needs a little bit of TLC and love. So.
Respect and TLC.
You can add that, right?
We don't have a song yet. We're getting there.
So, this is first month, I think it's been a month.
Well, we visited. Well, let's back up here. So we live in a small town. We are technically 25 minutes away from our boat, 25-minute drive. But we do not have a car where we live, so we've been taking the city bus to get to the marina where the boat is currently, where we're subleasing it. And so it's kind of a trek, and then we have to walk 2 miles from the bus station to actually get to the boat. So we've done 2 visits so far, 2 overnights, and most of that has just been cleaning out. We're calling it the apocalypse boat because the owners left pretty much everything, which is fine, part of the adventure. So just getting all that out, that's what it's been the last couple times we've been there. And there's still more to get out. We've had about 6 or 7 bags of donations, and then another same amount of garbage bags. And there's still more.
Yeah, not too much though. I mean, we got most of it. So just have a little bit left.
We have to get out the quarter berth cushions, and because the
old foam is all nasty and moldy. The companionway has been leaking for, I think, through the Dodger for a little while now. So just gonna throw that out. I mean, we're not gonna sleep back there or anything anyway. So probably just gonna not put cushions back there and use it as the garage, as most Catalina 30 owners do. So most people with a quarter berth don't really do. So,
but the plan eventually is we're waiting for a slip for the town that we're in, the marina here, and that could take 2 to 3, possibly 4 months to get that, which is fine. That's not too much longer from when we bought it in February. Right?
Yeah, it's about a month ago, I think, as everything went through.
So then we'll be able to walk there. It's only a couple miles.
Yeah, it's maybe maybe a 30-minute walk.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So that'll be way easier. But we're planning on sailing it. Maybe.
Probably motor, probably sail. I mean, it's really going to depend on when we get the slip up here, weather conditions, all that kind of stuff. So we did meet some like-minded sailors. They actually have their boat is a year newer than ours. They have an 85. But been talking with them, and they said they'd be willing to help us bring the boat up here. It's about probably gonna end up being an all-day affair. I think if you chart plot it, it says 5 hours, but I'm gonna add 2.5 onto that just because I know how that stuff goes. So hoping for following winds and following seas. We kind of think we have about 2 weeks after we get the slip here. We have to give written notice to the current marina. The marina, both the marina here in town and the one in the town down from us, they're both part of the same port. So shouldn't be that hard to just give them notice and then move the boat. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So it's not what is it? I think it's about a 2-hour trek between the bus and the walk. I think it's about a 2-hour
altogether.
2-hour commute to the boat. So
we're really close to the bus stop near our house, but it's just once you get to the town where the boat is,
there's a lot.
And there's muggings. There's not too many, but it's just it's a downtown area, and we're actually we currently live in Washington State, and we just moved here a few months ago from New York, upstate New York. So I mean, we're used to not great areas.
I mean, it's not like it's a bad area. It's just I think it's a common thing since COVID and since kind of just the state that the world is in, that a lot of these smaller cities and towns are kind of just not you can't really escape crime. It's everywhere. So
yeah. But I mean, our friends, they told us about a situation that recently happened at the bus station, and they were already like, oh, well, they're from New York. I mean, they've probably seen worse, which is true.
Yeah.
So, it is what it is.
It's one of those things, you always be alert and all that kind of stuff, no matter if it is, a small town. You never know. There's crazies out there. So, trying to think what else.
So I mean, I have show notes. So I mean, we can go from like the first step that we took onto the boat. That was two weeks ago. We were with our friends that we've made, and they were just kind of helping us and showing us around the whole marina and stuff. So before we go any further, I feel like I need to add that I am visually impaired and I use a cane. I don't drive. So I'll be learning to sail while not really being able to see, which has been done before. Just to add to the comedic relief, there will definitely be some mishaps that go on, and I will try to remember to write them down to tell y'all.
We're gonna have some stories. I already know we are. So not in a bad way, just
nope.
Silly stories.
I haven't walked into anything yet.
I haven't
walked off a dock yet.
Well, the docks are pretty nice here. They're pretty wide. They're all concrete, so they don't really move or anything, which is, I think, a huge plus. So that's kind of the nice thing about being out here in the Sound. I think most marinas, not all, but at least the ones out here that I've seen are like that. So I think we should be good.
Yeah, they really are very nice. They're very sturdy, and I mean, I can definitely feel them moving a little bit, but
yeah, I mean they shift a bit,
but so first steps on the boat. You were on there first, technically, but
yep.
once, so we like had gone on there, taken a look with our friends, and then we went to dinner. But then we came back, us two, after dinner the first night, and we just started going through everything. All the drawers, all the cubbies, all the whole galley just full of stuff, and it was just endless.
Yeah, because when we say they left everything, they pretty much left everything. The drawers were full of silverware and plates and bowls
Lube.
and yeah, there was that. All of just towels and just all this crap that who knows what owner it was. I mean, it was kind of an interesting situation that we bought the boat from, and so with everything we've gone through, I think a lot of it could have been just left. The guy that I bought the boat from, the guy that sold me the boat wasn't the owner. He was the owner's friend, and he had been using it for the last 3 years, and I think just kind of used it. Didn't I mean he maintained it and kept it clean, sort of, but just kind of used it as a boat and to get sailing experience and stuff like that. And there's some stuff that was neglected, and some stuff that is pretty easy to fix. We have a list of stuff. I mean, nothing.
And a couple
major.
things were already eliminated.
Yeah.
So like when our friends, so the husband of one of our friends and Dustin, or Dustin and Haley. Did I say that? Okay.
Yeah, you did.
I did. All right. So they were looking at the switchboard?
Yeah, I was just looking at all the switches, just trying to get familiar, figure out what was what. On my previous boat, nothing was labeled, so I'm used to just flipping switches and seeing what turns on. This one is kind of labeled, but I'm pretty sure it is the original panel from '84, so probably might be one of those upgrades eventually. Might upgrade to just a newer panel. But yeah, it does have a water pressure for the galley and the head.
Now.
Well, it did before. It's just we turn the switch on, pump turns on, everything sounds good, and we're just going about and just trying to just get ourselves, familiar with the boat, and we start smelling this like ceramic burning smell. We're like, what the heck is that smell? First we thought it was the heater. No, it's not. Well, it wasn't the little, electric heater. That's plastic and ceramic.
I'm like a dog, just sniffing the air everywhere.
And then we figured out, it's the panel that smelled like that. We're like, oh, that's not good. So shut the water pump switch off, because we noticed that the water pump had turned off. And what ended up happening was the water pump didn't actually turn off. It kind of, I don't know if it overheated or what, but the fuse was very, very, very hot. But we did yank that out, and that kind of cut the circuit. So the fuse didn't blow or anything. I was surprised. It's only a 15 amp circuit. I think it's a 20 amp fuse, so that's probably why. It probably was getting there, but so we opened the back of the panel and realized that the wire, the insulation had came off the wire and had partially exposed it, so it was shorting itself basically. It wasn't actually shutting off. So
well, and then we woke up that first Saturday morning, and we had used the head a couple times, both of us, the toilet, and it's a pump out. I've never seen anything like this in my life, so that was already still a learning experience how to use that monster. But we woke up and there was stuff in there. Right? There was like.
Yeah, it was. I'd say it was maybe the bowl was like halfway full. Seemed like it was mostly water. I don't know. It was dark. We don't have a light in the head, so I didn't have my phone on me to really look. I kind of didn't want to, but so kind of thought we had an issue with the head, backfilling. So I kind of thought over the last week when we went back, we were going to come back to like either it overfilled or something had happened. Our head setup's not the greatest. It really should have a vented loop, and it doesn't. The hose is a bit too short, so that probably is something that we'll end up fixing. But then at the same time, we used it this past weekend, and it was fine. It didn't backfill, it didn't anything, so I'm not really too sure. We do gotta pump the tank out. The guy didn't empty it. It's kind of disgusting, but so the nice thing about our marina, I think most of the marinas out here, is they have portable pump outs for the holding tanks, which will be interesting to use. I've never pumped a head out before in my life, so this will be fun. We do have access to fresh water, so I do plan on probably rinsing the tank a couple times, flushing it. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, so I mean.
It's a learning experience for both of us. I mean,
very much.
My last boat was, if you look up project boat in the dictionary, that was my last boat. It had numerous issues. I bought it not sight unseen, but I bought it expecting it to be in better condition than it was. Ended up, rebuilding the motor twice. I put a ton of man hours and work and more money into that boat than, people will laugh. More money into a boat.
We won't go into that.
Yeah. So that kind of is with this boat. I wanted to make sure that it was about as turnkey as we could get, within our price range. So.
And it is a diesel motor. We ran it this past weekend.
Runs great.
For at least 20 minutes.
Yeah, the motor's been maintained yearly. There's a local shop up here that's done all the oil changes and all the annual service on it. So, I'll probably go to them if I get stuck, but I'm planning to get my hands dirty on it and just do the maintenance myself. It's so much cheaper paying a shop. So it's kind of one of the things about owning a boat / being a liveaboard is kind of become a jack of all trades. You become your own mechanic, your own plumber, your own electrician. Might even pick up sewing if it, interests me. It really doesn't, but if we gotta learn how to sew, we gotta learn how to sew.
I guess I might be learning how to sew.
It's one of those skills that would be handy to know, especially, since kind of our plan is to, stay here for 5-6 years. Me have a good, refresh and just learn as much as I can. You learn as much as you can. Prepare financially and mentally and everything else for cruising, and this kind of be almost our practice boat in a way, and not be afraid to not run into the ground, but be afraid to sail it. Where with any boat, it's gonna take us time to learn it, learn its kinks, learn its quirks, but the goal of getting a bigger boat eventually and casting the lines off. People say, "Oh, why didn't you get a bigger boat first?" Because I can't afford a bigger boat right now,
And a big boat is a lot to learn with somebody that literally doesn't know anything, that never thought she would ever live on a boat.
Yeah.
So, but Yes, so the plan is to live aboard hopefully in the next 2 years. We
Say
just
2 years or
yeah,
so.
2 years to be safe. So we just got on the Friday Harbor in Washington, their live aboard wait list. So that typical wait time is a year and a half to 2 years for our size boat that we have.
Yeah.
And I guess we should back up a little bit of the origin story. So why did we move here? Why are you moving to Washington? Why so far from New York?
Why did you move here?
Why? Why? I'll tell you why. So we had been talking about moving to this state for a little while.
No.
Back even further? Okay,
Back up.
I'm wrong.
I'm wrong. So, to preface all this, you have been obsessed with orcas since you were little.
2 years old, Marineland in Canada.
And that's what even spawned the whole of us even coming out here in the first place, right?
Yes.
That was why we came, was for you, for the orcas.
Whales.
You know.
Save the whales. Orcas. Okay. Yes. So that has been... I had always wanted to work with them, do something with them. Once upon a time, I wanted to be a trainer. Then I went to school and learned it's not good. The whole industry, not good. We all know this. SeaWorld, bad. So, then I tried to go the route of education. So I have a degree in animal behavior, ecology, and conservation. But being with my disability, my choice of job is slightly limited. I can't really do a lot of field work because that takes very specific skills and you have to know what you're looking for with specimens and spotting the whales from far away, obviously. So, dream kaput, not going to research whales. Okay. So I had worked at a call center for almost 4 years, after meeting Dustin. Before that, I was trying to start a business. That wasn't going to work out in the end. So, yeah, I'm jumping around a lot. But I had always wanted to be around the whales, no matter what it took. That was just always what I wanted to do. I didn't know what that meant, knowing that I couldn't make a career with being with them on the water. But so then after Dustin and I met, we actually graduated high school together, and we reconnected and dated, got married, 2020 wedding, eloped in Niagara Falls. So I don't know, a year goes by after COVID. I think that's when we really started talking about, like, maybe we'll retire there one day.
Oh, yeah, it was about beginning of 2021, maybe like end of 2020, I think. We're just kind of joking about it, and just like, oh, maybe we'll retire there. And this kind of prefaced that we were starting to. What? No, you're fine.
Okay.
Fine.
Thought I broke it.
Our kind of plan was, we were going to stay in New York. We were going to buy a house. She was going to start her business and kind of just do all stuff up there, and then with COVID and everything kind of being not over, but, travel bans being lifted and everything, and we're like, oh, we want to go somewhere. At this point it had been over a year, since we had gone somewhere together, out of the state. So we were talking, and we'd always, her goal was, I think we had brought it up before then, like
kayaking.
Well, not even that, but you just wanted to go to Seattle at some point.
Yes.
Like that was your thing. You wanted to go to Seattle at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, in a couple years we'll go, and they really thought about it, and we're like, let's just go. Let's just go to Seattle. We ended up visiting Anacortes. We ended up not going to Seattle, for obvious reasons.
Love Seattle.
It's Seattle.
It's a city.
It's city.
We're not city people. We're not country bumpkins, but we're not city people. We're
nice in between. And we went and just fell in love with more the San Juans. I mean, Anacortes is great. Don't get me wrong, but it was more. Well, I think it was our third trip.
We had gone there to Friday Harbor on the ferry so many times that we were giving people advice on the ferry.
That's fun. Take it till you make it, right? So it was about halfway through, and
the pivotal moment.
And I'll never forget it. I mean, I doubt you'll forget it.
No.
We were waiting in the ferry terminal, full of people, just waiting to get on the boat. And I remember
staring out the window.
And she just turns to me and is just like, "What do we need to do to move here?" And I'm just like,
"What do we need to do to get here?"
Yeah, just whatever we got to do, let's do it.
And you were like, "What about the business?" I'm like, "I don't care. We just got to get here. This is where we're supposed to be." So.
And now we're here.
We were off. And
now we're here. Not even a year later after talking about it.
And to bring up the name, we're calling this podcast Third Eye Sailing. That's just that example, that story is just one reason why we're calling it that, because we've come to see the in-betweens of the things that are just unspoken, that don't need to be spoken. Just divine timing and everything that you're putting out into the world and what you're getting back. It's all connected, and it took me a long time to really figure that out. And there's more to come along the way with that name that we'll get into eventually. But
no need to overload.
No, we're not going to overload you today. What else? Let me see here. My list.
If we want to stick to 30, we got about 2 minutes left on the clock. So we'll probably go a bit over just because I'm just trying to think of what else to talk about. I mean,
for an intro show, 146. Do you want to go into your quick background? No? Okay, that's for another show too.
Gained the momentum, and now I don't want to end it on that kind of note.
But there's more to come. We'll try and get one out maybe every other week.
Yeah,
show.
I think every other week will shake out. Okay. This next one might be a full 2 weeks, just because we're not gonna be going out to the boat till the 24th, 25th of March, I think, is when we're going out next. So, they might be a bit sparse in the beginning, but once we get the boat within walking distance, I mean,
it'll be smooth sailing. Okay.
All bets are off at that point. So,
well, thanks for joining.
Thanks for listening to our ramble.
Yeah, sorry, we're a little unorganized and not organized at all. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.